What's up YouTube? It's Frenchie here, and I've got the third round of the Rubicon Casual Tournament. And again, I'm using Rome. I'm sorry I was boring, but this is a tournament and I wanted to play it safe. I do switch up my faction picks a little bit in the semifinals and finals, so if you want to see those battles, they will be linked down below. As soon as Armenian King and Jonas Nee upload, they did the casting for the semifinals and finals, so I am not going to post my replays of that because that's not fair to them. And anyways, it's better for you to see it through somebody else commentating on my battle style than to see just me, because I'm actually interested to hear what they have to say. I know that both of them are experienced commentators and can offer a good perspective on what I do. So anyways, this third round was to be fought in a relatively dense forest. So I went for an army that was very infantry heavy, and I went for only 4 velites, 2 Sociequites Extraordinaria on the left, 1 on the right, an elephant, and a good infantry line. So 4 legionary cohorts, an armored legionary evocati cohort, and a 5th legionary cohort, and a 1st cohort. So I almost broke that max of 6 1 unit rule, but I ended up not, thankfully. I actually was scared for a second there when I was watching this replay. I was like, oh my god, hope I didn't do that, but I didn't. But anyway, my opponent has gone for a slightly different style. He decided to go for Balearic Slingers, and while I really do like that unit, and I think they're one of the most powerful skirmishers in the game, this is not the map for them. Because the only area they'd be useful is if I was like out here and they could fire unobstructed in the woods. They're not going to do too much. So I thought my build might have been a little bit superior. But in any case, this ended up being a very close battle. My opponent was very good with the micro, and I made a couple of mistakes. He made a couple of mistakes. But overall, this ended up being a very good battle. So to get it started, we engage our infantry lines. I'm going to send my elephants right into Associate Equites, get some nice kills. And I think that's something that people really underestimate with elephants, is their ability to just slaughter cavalry. Because I know that people like to use them in the backs of infantry, but if you can get a stampede charge into a cavalry unit, that cavalry unit's not going to live. I don't care what it is. It can be a cataphract, it can be anything. The elephant's going to win. Just the mass feature that's in Rome 2 gives them such an advantage. But anyway, so I'm going to engage his 2 units of cav over here, and one of my Associate Equites gets to deal with his backline of slingers. So even though I wasn't too worried about his slingers, since it's in the woods, I still would like to get them off the field, since they'll still get some kills, and they threaten my elephants. So my elephants are moving around in here, and let's zoom in a little bit, because it's hard to see through the forest otherwise. And let's adjust my camera like that, which should give a pretty nice view. And you can see that my elephants aren't on too many kills, but certainly their morale effect has been useful. And now I'm going to send them right kind of through this fight and disturb his evocati cohort here. And you can see that they get the frightened by enemy unit thing, and that's going to make them a little bit easier for me to take out. So over here, I've won these fights, and I can now send my evocati to reinforce the cav fight, and I can come into the back of these cavalry, which are currently being pinned by the Equites Extraordinarii, who are going for skirmishers. So then we also have this kind of like main line of fighting, where I have a 2-on-1 on the left here, and then I have my Legatus taking on his Socii Equites, and I've joined with a legionary cohort. And then we just have this fight kind of grinding out here. He's won on this side. I believe my elephants had gone berserk by this time. So let's just zoom out, get a little bit clearer view of what's happening. And at this point, the power bar is still in the middle, and nothing is really decided. So at this point is when I realize I am very, very close to losing this tournament. And I start to kind of manage a little bit more. And I send my general right in the back here, which isn't going to do a heck of a lot of damage, but it will certainly have a morale penalty. and I start to manage these Equites Extraordinarii, just keep them running, try to get through everybody. I had a unit of Veletates that came back from routing, and I'm going to send them after his Balearic Slingers and put them on rapid reload, and now this fight's starting to go more in my favor. So let's take a nice look at the action. I've got him surrounded, that unit's routed, and that now gives me massive superiority, which makes his Evocati route. I've got him trapped here as well, and I've got his Legatus routing. So there goes my Cav, which is going to route, but you see how little damage they're taking, even from that many slinger shots. Like in the open, they would have been dead very quickly. But I still do have one unit left of Cav, which is big, because he still has 3 Balearic Slingers, and while I probably have enough infantry to live it, I don't know that. So having that unit of Cav is going to be very useful. These Veletates are just about out of ammunition, but have certainly done their job. So at this point now for me it's just making sure I don't make a mistake. And he's going to pull out with his Evocati, which gets me a couple of free kills as I chase him down. And that Evocati is going to route as well. And he's going to be raining missiles on me, but again, in the woods, it's not going to do too much damage. His slingers are on 24 kills, 11 kills, and 31 kills, which for a price tag of 560 is probably not worth it. But these Veletates have done their job, and now I can just send them in for melee to distract them. And I have 4 cohorts against his auxiliary infantry, which is going to be a guaranteed slaughter. And then I realize he starts pulling away, so I decide to just make my infantry stationary with their shields facing the slingers, and he decides to call it game there. He didn't really have a chance at that point. So anyways, very good game to my opponent. Balance bar stayed even for the majority of the game, and there were just a couple of moments where that balance got tipped. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Let's take a quick look at the results screen. As you can see, not the most useful in the woods. With that in mind, probably didn't need these Veletates, and I could have maybe done with just bringing, say, 2 or 3 leves in case he'd brought in elephants, which is really the only reason I would have needed skirmishers. But yeah, anyway, I will see you guys next time, and I will post the link to the semifinals and finals in the description below.